Hi, and welcome back to Tapped into Hudson. I'm Steve Lennox. I'm the publisher of Tap into Hoboken, Tap into Bayonne, and Tap into Jersey City. I'm joined now for this segment with Michael Harper. He's the clerk to the Board of Elections for Hudson County. Michael, how are you today?
Excellent, Stephen. Thank you for having me.
Good, Michael. It's a pleasure to have you. I think you'll agree it's safe to introduce you as the guy who is working 24/7 to make sure every ballot is counted in Hudson County this year. Is that about accurate?
We are certainly putting our time in. Yeah.
Yeah.
A normal presidential election, Steve, we could probably get 13 to 15,000 ballots here in Hudson County. We have 150,000 in already, and I'm expecting at least another 50 to 70 before Election Day.
So about 10,000 a day between now and next Tuesday.
Yeah, that's about right.
And Michael, can you spend a minute or so just describing the voting process for those voters that haven't cast their ballots yet, what they need to be paying attention to and what action they need to take?
Surely, Steve. I mean, as we all know at this point, the governor ordered a primarily vote by mail election due to the pandemic. Hudson County sent 370 to 380,000 ballots out. As I said, we've received back about 150,000 already. I know there's been a lot of misinformation, disinformation, and gaslighting about the way this election is being held. I think the most important thing for people to realize, I hear it all the time, all over the county. People stop me and say, you could stand in line at Walmart, you could stand in line at the DMV. Why can't I stand in line and vote? And there are certainly still an in-person option. But as far as just to wrap up quickly on vote by mails, the issue there is you could stand on line at DMV and Walmart today and probably tomorrow. The governor had to make a call on this 3 months ahead of time, at a time when you couldn't really predict what 3 weeks was going to hold. So I think the governor, and as an election official, I understand. I think the governor rightfully feared that those polling places might not be available on election day, and not to give people that option to get it in ahead of time. If something happens, even now towards the end of this week, where I'm on some sort of no public gathering order, where I can't even safely put my poll workers in a given place, never mind voters, you would have successfully just disenfranchised 6 million people, and I think that was the fear. So vote by mails are working, as there are some other in-person voting options out there. For the first time, a voter is allowed now, if they have not sent back their vote by mail, which you probably know what those look like at this point. If they have not sent that back yet, there's still time, certainly, to get into any one of our drop boxes. We have 17 of those stationed around the county. There's one in front of every town hall of the 12 municipalities in Hudson County. There are some additional ones in Jersey City, given the size of it. There's one in each ward. But they could also, for the first time, drop their vote by mail at a polling site, which is a first here in New Jersey. We never allowed that. It was always considered late by the time it got back to us. But we are allowing that this election. In person, they could also vote via provisional, which is another form of paper ballot. But again, another thing there's so much misinformation about. I hear all the time, they're not going to count those unless they change the results of the election. That is totally not true. Every provisional is counted. We do vet them heavily to make sure that they are a registered voter and that they did not vote in any other way, or by mail specifically. But if you end up voting by provisional ballot, those ballots will be counted. It will be after the election. My advice to everyone is really, at this point, get those vote by mails in, because we plan on having 70 to 80% of our vote counted on election night. We're counting already. That was another change in this election, that the governor allowed us to start counting. Actually, I think that was by legislation, but the legislature allowed us to start counting 10 days early, and we did that. We started this weekend. We probably have 40,000 ballots run through the system already. We can't look at numbers yet. We won't release our first numbers till election night, but at that point, I really plan on releasing 200,000 of Hudson County's votes. If that holds true across all of New Jersey, and all the counties have 70 to 80% of their votes counted on election night, that's, I believe, we'll have a substantial number in, and You want to be part of
Counted
that.
in-
If
we'll
you
have
wait
some
until
results. Michael, you're a great
Yeah,
interview because you answer the questions before they're even
all
asked,
right.
which is wonderful. You've obviously done this before. But let's go back to the issue of
A couple
ballot security.
times.
We've heard several
Yeah.
concerns about we're filling out ballots in pencil, we're dropping them in boxes, we don't know where they're going. Can you talk a little bit more about the chain of security when it comes to the ballots, what you do with them once you get them, how they're counted?
Yeah, Steve, vote by mail, paper voting is a very safe form of voting. It's not our culture. In Hudson County and New Jersey in general, we have small neighborhood-based districts. Everyone's used to getting down to their local school or firehouse and seeing their friends and neighbors and their poll workers who work every election. And yeah, that is our culture. Hudson County in particular is, even in a normal year, is not a heavy vote by mail county. But that being said, this gaslighting about paper ballots and vote by mails in general. One, I find it rather insulting to the 5 states that do voting entirely by mail, and those 5 states, not coincidentally, are amongst the best voter participation, highest turnout states in our nation. Paper ballots. Look, there was a lot of concern about the U.S. Postal Service before this election, and we were throwing a lot on them relatively unexpectedly. I could only speak for Hudson County. The U.S. Postal Service is working in Hudson County. The average turnaround from when we send out a ballot to when somebody gets is about 2 days. I found about the same with them coming back. So the process that works. Those drop boxes that we talked about, we pick those up directly, the Board of Elections, every single day. We send a team out to get them, a Democrat and a Republican. There's a metal insert in that box. It comes out, we lock it there, put a seal on it, bring it back here to the county building where they're counted in front of a room full of people. Every part of this of our process is overseen. I answer to the Board of Elections. That's a 6-member board, 3 Democrats, 3 Republicans, all appointed by the governor. Everything here is done on a bipartisan basis. There is oversight every step of the way. I know people have certain concerns. I'm surrounded by ballots, as I am my entire life now. They don't really want to use any of them because they have people's names on them. But
Sure.
That's the certification inside the ballot. That makes a lot of people nervous. I think they think that their name is attached to the ballot and someone's going to see how they voted. Do know the entire system is built to make your vote count accurately and anonymously. There is we what we call strip that cert off the ballot before counting. At that point, that anonymous inner envelope is sent to a second room where it's opened and a third room where it's counted.
Michael, thank you for spending the time with us today. I'm glad we gave our readers and our viewers a chance to learn more about the voting process. Good luck with the count in the coming weeks, and we'll see you soon. Thank you to all of our readers for
Thank you so
tuning in
much.
again to Tapped into Hudson.